So before the video starts, I wanted to go through this book that I tried to read, and sometimes I like start a little bit off camera because if the book's really bad, I just don't even want to put you guys through that. So I bought The Good Part. I did a thing that I don't usually do when I just go to a library or a bookstore and I just like find a random book. And I used to do this all the time, and then lately I've been using the internet more to like figure out good recommendations. But I was like, I just want to go try to find a cute book, try to read it, and figure out if maybe that's what I should do more, to find a good book. And this book is about a young girl who just wants to get to the good part of her life, and then she makes a wish and she ends up being there in that good part of her life in her 40s. And I read about 100 pages and I did not love it. I thought it was just like kind of cheesy because she was kind of like relying on her future kid. She was like asking them questions and stuff, and I'm like, no, don't bring your child into this, please. But I guess she kind of had to because she like woke up in her future house. Yeah, I didn't love it, so I did not finish this book. I DNF'd it at like 50 pages. No, at 100 pages actually. Yeah, I read 100 pages into it and I just wasn't feeling it, so I DNF'd it. It's like very cute, but just wasn't for me. I want to try to stamp the video with how many pages I've read this month, and then also the dates that I'm reading, just because I feel like there's so much time and effort you put into a book when you read like half of it and then decide to stop it. If you really calculate the amount of pages you read, it's a lot more than like the actual books you read. What a handsome boy. Not a thought in the world up there, huh? Just happiness. He's big too. Look how big he is. He's the biggest boy. I love how you can just throw cats around, you can't do that with a dog. I am going to a Braves game tonight, so I'm getting ready, and I just started listening to Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. I'm 3% in, and it's pretty good so far. I think that when a book is like kind of more funny or cheesy, might not be the right word, when I read it over text, I don't love it as much, but when I listen to it, I think it's more funny. When I read, I want something more like realistic and high stakes, I would say. So I'm gonna listen to this while I get ready. We'll see how it is. Okay, makeup is done and I'm gonna leave soon, but I am now 7%. I really like it though. It's cute and funny. It's just about a guy who crashes weddings, and then I think the girl is gonna start crashing weddings with him, and then they're probably gonna like fall for each other. It's about 9 a.m. on Friday. I worked the last couple of nights, so this is basically nighttime for me. Just wanted to give some book updates. I'm currently reading Iron Flame on my Nook, and I'm almost on page 500. I'm loving this book so far. It's just obviously takes a while to read since it's 757 pages. With Happily Never After, I don't know, I'm not loving it. I got to about 50% of the way in, and it's about objectors for a wedding. I just feel like it could have been like a 30-page short story book. It didn't really need to be this long book, kind of drawn out, like, yes, you object at weddings. That's all I really need to know. End book. I think I just need better help trying to figure out what books to read, because me trying to pick like popular books isn't working for me anymore, and it's putting me in reading slumps. I get so excited to read a book that everyone's talking about, but then I read it and I don't love it, and then I'm confused. So I really just need to hone in and figure out what books exactly, like how to find the books I really love and when to put them down, because I also like read 50% of a book and then be like, I can't do this anymore. finally finished Iron Flame, which just honestly took me way too long to read, like almost a whole month start to finish reading this book. I loved Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing was the first book in the series. Iron Flame didn't really do it for me. I'd heard from a lot of people that they didn't like Iron Flame as much. My expectations weren't super high, but it actually had a lot of good ratings still on Goodreads, over 1 million reviews and over 4 stars. There are parts of it that were good, other parts of it that were just kind of like, were slow. I don't know if I'll keep reading the series because I think like once an author just gets really popular, her books could tend to not get as good because they feel a lot of pressure to put out more books and they can end up losing some of their creative side. It was just very long and took me a very long time to finish it. I think overall I'm gonna rate it a 3.5 because some parts of it were really good and some parts of it were boring and I was like skimming it. And then I started listening to Remarkably Bright Creatures, and this book is really cute. It follows around a woman named Tova, an octopus, and then a guy, I'm pretty sure his name's Cameron, and they're a little town and it's an aquarium by the sea. I think it kind of is taking place in Seattle, but it's really cute so far and I definitely understand why this book has gotten so popular. It has 4.4 stars on Goodreads and I can see why. It's very creative and I love having like the perspective of the octopus. So I'm gonna go outside and listen to this book and just keep listening and hoping that it'll be a little bit better than Iron Flame. I've been listening to Remarkably Bright Creatures and this book is so good, especially over audio because there's different voices for different characters like the octopus, the woman, the man, and it's just an amazing book. It's happy, it's sad, it's funny. I'm thinking it's gonna be a 5-star book. 65% of the way done. I don't know if I already said that, but I am about to clean and get ready. I'm going to a wedding tomorrow in Mississippi, so I'm hoping in between like getting ready and maybe on the way over there I'll be able to finish the book. It's like about 3 hours or so left. I'm excited because I just love it so much so far. Definitely a very cute summary book. And then our book club book of the month is The Grace Year, which I started reading it probably like 100 pages in right now. It's about 400 pages and it's a bit dark, honestly, for me. It's kind of like this utopian world and the grace year is like the year that these girls, they get their magic and then they have to like go away for a year from society. You know, obviously with book club books, they kind of push you more to finish a book if you don't love it in the beginning because you want to know what happens to be able to talk about it with your book club. It has really good reviews, like over 4 stars on Goodreads, but to me it's just like a little bit disturbing. Maybe it'll get better and not like creep me out. It's probably because I've been reading it before bed. I haven't heard anyone else say that, but I haven't really talked to people about the book that much, so we will see. But I'm gonna do some chores and pack and keep listening to Remarkably Bright Creatures, which I cannot say one negative thing about. It's a great book so far. I just got home from work, but I finished The Grace Year and Remarkably Bright Creatures like in a row right next to each other basically, because I was listening to Remarkably Bright Creatures, which was amazing like through and through the whole book. I like almost cried out like multiple times. It was so sentimental and beautiful and just about human life and animal life and so unique, and just I loved every part of it, loved all the connections and how it all came together. 5-star read for me. And then The Grace Year, up until like 50% I wasn't feeling it, and then the last like half of it I whizzed through and read for like 4 hours straight, which is crazy. It's, you know, about these girls. I can't even like the plot twist and everything, like I was not expecting it. I just thought like this girl was gonna go away and I didn't really know what else. And I didn't love when she was in her little year of grace encampment. Everything else was just like a plot twist, a thriller. It was crazy. Wasn't expecting it. It was like a lot about humanity and women coming together, and I don't even know. I couldn't have read 2 more different books at the same time, to be honest. But I'm kind of on a reading kick now. I'm super happy. I literally finished 2 books in like the span of a very short, like within hours of each other. I want to start beach read, and I'm gonna go to bed because I just worked, but I want to start beach read right before bed. It is June 30th. I'm currently editing the video. It was a good month, a very fun, happy month, and I actually read a bit more than I expected. So I calculated through all the books that I read this month, and if my calculations are correct, then I read, because I'm like halfway done with Beach Read right now, 1,815 pages approximately. I know each book has like a different amount of words and stuff on each page, so kind of varies, but that's about how much, which I feel like is pretty good. So I might try calculating again just to kind of see what my average is, but pretty good month for books. My favorite book was Remarkably Bright Creatures. That's probably, if I had to, you know, suggest one of the books, I would pick that one. Hope y'all had a good month, and I'll see you in July.